We're now going to look at non-linear data and how we can use logarithms to linearize a relationship which is not a straight line. This is super clever. It has application in statistics, so this crops up in year 2 statistics as well. And basically it's when you've got messy data and you're not sure what the relationship between the variables is, using logs can often turn a complete mess into a straight line, and then you can work with it. Let's have a look. Okay, so I suppose I had this relationship here, y equals 0.53 to the x. I mean, it's basically just an exponential that's been halved. So it's going to have the standard exponential shape, like this, and it's going to get steeper and steeper and steeper and steeper, and so on. Now, what are the axes? Well, the axes are, of course, y and x. Now, we could do something very clever here. Let me show you. If I take logs of both sides, and very often in this topic we use log base 10. Why log base 10? It's because it's a bit intuitive. So the reason why it's intuitive, if you think about it, log base 10 of 100, for example, is 2, and log base 10 of 1,000 is 3, and log base 10 of 10,000 is 4. It basically tells you how many zeros you've got at the end of your number, and it almost tells you how many digits, basically. So if you've got log base 10 of something and it's 6, you know it was a kind of, well, a 7-digit or around a 6 or 7-digit number. That's the kind of the clever thing about logs, log base 10. Okay, if I do log base 10 of both sides, I get log base 10 of y equals log base 10 of half times 3 to the x. Now, using some log rules, can't do anything to the left-hand side, but I can to the right. I use my addition law. I get log base 10 of 0.5 plus log base 10 of 3 to the x. I can go a bit further. Log base 10 of y equals, I can't really do anything with this, log base 10 of 0.5. And what about this? Well, I can bring my power down, x times log base 10 of 3. Okay, you might think this looks like a little bit of a mess, but I'm just going to reorder it a tiny bit and then explain why it's not a mess. Okay, I'm just going to reorder this and have log base 10 of 3 times x plus log base 10 of 0.5. Okay, what have we got? We've got log base 10 of y is a number times x plus a number. Remember, log base 10 of 3 you can work out on your calculator. Log base 10 of a half you can work out on your calculator. So think about it. You've got something equals an amount of x plus a number. Now, if I renamed that number m and I renamed that number c, isn't that just a straight line? Some number m, x, plus some number c. Yes, it is the answer. Okay, so if we're happy to work with log y and not y, we can actually get a straight line. So let's do something sneaky. Let's have a little bit more space. So what we had here, as a reminder, we had log base 10 of y equals log base, oh, I've forgotten it already, log base 10 of 3, log base 10 of 3 lots of x plus log base 10 of a half. And what I'm saying is that's very much like y equals mx plus c, except it's not y anymore, it's log base 10 of y. So here's the clever idea. Rather than having this the y-axis, let's make this the log base 10 of y axis. So the value I'm going to plot in the height is not y, it's log base 10 of y. And if I do that, what happens? Well, I've basically got the equation of a straight line, because I've got log base 10 of y equals mx plus c. It's just that m, my gradient, is log base 10 of 3, and c, my y-intercept, is log base 10 of 0.5. And those are just numbers, right? In fact, I'll just work them out here on my calculator. Log base 10 of 3 is 0.48, and log base 10 of a half is minus 0.3, roughly. I'm rounding quite a lot. So it's just a straight line has a y-intercept of negative 0.3, so let's say that's about here, and a positive gradient of about a half, so I've got a straight line. And then I could work with that however I wanted. Okay, the principle though is that we can turn curves into straight lines using logs. Let's look at an example to really consolidate this and see why it's useful. So a scientist is modelling the growth of a population, P, over time, T, measured in years. He believes the relationship is in the form P equals AB to the T. That's exponential, right? So that's coefficient times a base to a power. He plots a graph of log P against T. So we've seen now that if you've got an exponential relationship, if you change the y-axis to a log y-axis or p-axis to a log p-axis, it will turn your line straight, your curve straight. Two of the points on the graph are given. Find an equation linking log p and t, and hence an equation linking p and t. There's an awful lot going on here. Let's do it bit by bit. Right, let's create more room. By the way, that's the only graphics you're getting in this course, special effects. I hope you appreciated it. Let's have that one more time. There we go. No expense spared. So can we find an equation linking log p and t? It's just saying what's the equation of that straight line. Well, look, we've got 2 points. We know how to find the equation of a straight line from 2 points. We find the gradient first. So that's change in y, which is 3.2 minus 2, over change in x, which is 6 minus 0. So what is that? 3.2 minus 2 divided by 6 minus 0 is 0.2. So that's the gradient. Now normally we'd have to fiddle about a bit for the y-intercept, but we can just see the y-intercept now, it's just 2. So that means that the equation of my straight line is log, and in this topic, if you don't see a base, assume it's 10. Log base 10 of p equals mx, so 0.2x, except it's t, not x, plus c, so plus 2. So that is the equation linking log p and t. Now the question said, hence work out an equation linking p and t. Well, if I want p on its own with no log, I just do 10 to the power of both sides. So I've done 10 to the power of this side, that got rid of the log, and now it's 10 to the power of all of this. And now it's just some indice laws. So p is 10 to the power of 0.2t times 10 to the power of 2. Further indice laws, we can just bracket this up and say that's 10 to the power of 0.2 to the power of t. And look, 10 squared is 100. So what I've got is that p equals 100 times, and what is 10 to the power of 0.2? 10 to the power of 0.2 is 1.585. I just did that on my calculator, 1.585 to the t. And there is the relationship, right? Remember, if we go back, it said that the scientist believed the relationship to be in the form population is some number, some multiple times a base to the power of time. And we've got that now. Okay, we've got it's 100 times this base to the power of t. So that is literally how researchers discover relationships between them. If they think the relationship is exponential and they've got some data, they can plot the log of the y value of their data against the x value, form a straight line, and then convert that straight line into an exponential curve. Pretty cool stuff. Right, there's a bit more of this, so we'll explore that further in the next video. See you there.